Hello, Elizabeth. Elizabeth.
Good evening, Kevin.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm well. A little bit more volume. So, how old are you?
Okay. You will
How old are
you
you?
will you will have a field day with me. I am 30, well, about to turn
Why
36.
would I have a field day with you?
I've been listening to you for the past few weeks.
Then you
And
should know that I'm pretty fair. As long as you reason, as long as you tell the truth.
yes, sir.
You don't have to call
Um,
me sir, but go ahead.
Staying on topic, I, of course, have dated outside.
Okay.
And, especially now at my age, I have I have put money and generating more money above settling down.
Okay.
And now, I mean, I'm definitely at, as you said the other day, you are closer to 40 than
Now
30.
you're gonna have to speed it up and get to the question because I got more people in there. What's up?
So
Go ahead.
my point is since my situation, I'm buying a house on the lake and I'm going to find a mate in Silicon Valley.
Find a
So we
maid or a mate?
mate, M-A-T-E, husband,
Oh, you
potential.
are you?
Well, I have the money, so
Oh, so you're gonna go buy one?
well, make myself more no
How
attractive
tall
so
are
that
you?
5'10" and a half.
Dress size.
Pre a size 12. I gained weight in my 30s. A size 12,
I didn't know
5'10.
that's 30. Okay. And what's the largest dress size you've been?
Oh, 14. 14.
Okay. So you're going to
Oh,
go buy a house on the
yes.
lake
My
and then you go,
house.
okay. And you're going to be in what part of California?
No, I'm buying a home
Okay.
in Gainesville, a lake house.
Okay.
And after that, get liposuction. After that, go fly to Silicon Valley, here and there, because the income definitely allows me to, my
Well,
income.
congratulations. You
And
got money.
and use the money as access to
No,
gain
no,
access.
no, 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 no. You're in the fantasy world. See, that's what we do. Look. What I need you to do is look straight ahead. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Then I need
Yes,
you. Then I need you to look straight ahead. Focus
yes,
direct. Look yourself in the eye. Okay. And then I need you
yes.
to look 90 degrees down. Do you see a penis there?
You are Kevin.
Then you're trying to do things like men would do. No, you get found. See, you're trying to cheat. You're trying to cheat because you have money. I'm going to go buy a house, so that'll be some bait. Then I'm going to cheat and get liposuction because I don't want to do the work. Then I'm going to go out to California and try to sprinkle myself around and hope I can bait somebody. Good. Do you want somebody making money on your level?
To be very honest with you,
That's a
not
yes or
necessarily.
no.
I am open to men who do not.
Okay, so would you good with somebody making 50,000, 40,000 to $50,000 a year?
If he
Is
was,
that a yes or no? Don't give me an if and don't give me this bull crap. If he was a genie, yes or no? 50 grand.
yes, if he's in the military,
I no
police
no no.
officer,
See no
yes.
no. You don't. Wow. If he's in the military, a man, would you be all right with him making 50 grand as long as it's legal?
Yes, yes, Kevin, I'm okay with that. Yes.
Wow. The point being, man, the men that make what you make, we've already discussed that. But are you all right paying for a man? Because you're going to want to live at your income level. Yes or no?
Kevin, may I ask a
After
question?
you answer mine,
So your
do
so
you?
your question,
He's making 50,000. Are you willing to live on 50?
no, I
Then you don't want a $50,000 man.
no, to answer your question, yes, I'm okay with a 50,000
But you
annualized.
don't want to live on his money. So you listen, ma'am. When's the last time you had a long-term relationship with a man?
I knew you would ask
Of course I
this.
am, because you are very detached from reality. And you got the
I
money. You could pay for the session, or we can do it here. Ma'am,
I know I actually did go
let's just get
to
right to the point. You
I
have
did go
priced yourself out of the market. Your success is good, but it doesn't count. You have a looks market, not a financial market. The average black man in this country earns $40,000. That's the bulk of the men. And are you an above? Are you you already said you're a plus size woman. Are you pretty, beautiful, or gorgeous naturally?
I have long curly
Then
hair and
that's a
that's
no. You're an average
now
looking woman.
no.
You're an average looking woman who's over her healthiest weight.
Hence the liposuction.
It's still, oh, Jesus Christ. The delusion is just real.
But if I have the money, like
You
even
can't
like
buy a
you said,
man. You can't, first off, you can't buy a high value man.
can I buy beauty to lead me
No,
that
because you
direction?
don't, no, you got what you got. You want to lie. See, liposuction without the exercise, you'll just get fat.
I work
All
out.
right, ma'am, I am going to hang this up because I keep telling you something, and this is why dealing with women your age is a problem. You can't even have a conversation with a high value man. How the French toast are you gonna have a relationship? Hmm? You can't even have a 5 minute conversation without being contentious. Because you think somebody gives a crap about your money. Your money don't mean nothing to us. Did you hear what I said?
I heard what yes,
Your
yes,
money doesn't
Kevin.
mean anything to us. And a straight up man at 50, he's going to say, look, babe, we're going to live on my 50. He ain't going to let you put him up in some lake house to where he can't pay the mortgage and you got him in a car. And these men don't want to be kept men. You know the kind of guys that want to do that? Beta males. You want a punk. Go.
You're right, Kevin.
Excuse me?
You're right.
I
That's what happened
know.
before. That's exactly what happened before.
Well,
And I
all right. Well, uh,
yeah, you're
therapy.
right, Kevin.
Have you gone to therapy yet?
No, to
All
answer
this
your question,
damn money.
no.
Okay. Here's the formula. You need therapy, personal trainer, image consultant, matchmaker. Because you are far out. See, if you didn't have the money you had, there's no way you could be as detached and deluded you as you. If you had to go work in a call center or a regular job in retail, you think you can buy men. That's not how it works. You can buy beta males, but men, nope. And you know, getting that going well, you're not going to be willing to live it. You're not going to be willing to live it what the husband, if you could find him, would provide. And you don't want no $50,000 man either. You say that for a phone call, that's $25 an hour, man. That's $1,000 a week before taxes. $1,000 a week.
Kevin, if I may I retort?
Yeah, go ahead.
You made a very important point a few broadcasts, excuse me, a few broadcasts ago, where you said chaos, where high value men do not want to deal with chaos. And when you said that, it truly resonated with me because I do not want that. I cannot afford that. I cannot afford chaos because obviously that's why when I mentioned I am okay with a 50,000, 60,000, honestly, Kevin, man, That's
50,
why I
60,
said
70.
military, police, because they're more disciplined. A
Yeah,
military
you
man.
don't know that, ma'am. You don't know that. You're
Okay.
assuming that. You don't know that. You don't know that. You're in your head. You've made up a fantasy world. How many a $50,000? Do you know what a $50,000 car looks like? I mean, a car on a $50,000 salary looks like. You know what a home looks like. You know what the friends look like. You know what the school looks like. The kind of money you talking like you have, you're not gonna be able to deal with it.
That's a good point,
Forget
Kevin.
Tom Ford, Chanel, and Neiman Marcus. You're gonna be at Macy's and Ross. Forget Ruth Chris. You're gonna be at Outback on your anniversary. Knock it off, man. Therapy, matchmaker, personal trainer, image consultant. Have a good day.
And lipo.
What the heck? We got to do a better one than that. What's going on with my taps, man?
Yes.
Hi, Naomi.
Hi.
What you got for me?
Um, so I'm 43
Okay.
and I'm a single mom and
Mm-hmm.
I have three kids, but two are grown and one is 13.
Mm-hmm.
So would I be entitled to a high value man? And I make six figures.
Were you married to their fathers?
Yes.
Okay, but you're divorced now.
Yes.
How long you guys been divorced?
Um my second marriage, I was divorced in 2012.
So 8 years.
Yeah.
So you're so let's just look at the numbers. You're 43
Mm-hmm.
with two children out of the household and a
Yes.
13-year-old.
Yes.
Um, what um what product on the market tends to gain value as it ages and gets more wear?
Wine.
No, I said gets more wear. Wine doesn't get wear. It ages, but it's not used.
Uh, hmm.
Come on, six figures. Uh-huh.
Hold on, I'm thinking. I'm thinking.
But the fact that you're having to think so long means that that's not the way it normally works. If something gets older, it tends to lose value, especially with use.
So does that mean
Let's just
that
let's just let's just no, let's just stick on this logic.
okay?
So if you do, so your income is not what attracts men. It's your beauty, your youth, your fertility, access to womb, those kind of things.
I don't want a young man though. I want to.
Ma'am, that does not. Okay. All
If
right.
it's somebody like my
Okay.
age, around
All
my
right.
age. Okay,
All
I'm
right.
just
All right.
saying.
All right. But again, let's take that path. How
Okay,
tall? How tall are you?
5'7",
Dress size.
14. Yeah, 12, 14. Yeah,
Okay. And how much did you weigh the last time you weighed yourself?
one.
Come on. I'm an image consultant. Give me no, at 5'7". Keep it going.
About 170.
No, ma'am. Not
What?
5'7" at dress size 12, 14. Come on, man.
Yeah,
What's the most you've ever weighed?
170. The most I've ever
Mm.
weighed was like 175.
All right, let's just give it to you. It's not even worth the hill dying on. How often a week do you work out?
2 to 3
When's the last
times.
time you dress size 4, 6?
In my 20s.
All right. So a man in your age range earning six figures, believe it or not, he has access to women like yourself, women a little bit older, and women much younger.
Okay.
Women, and the thing is, most women want me. Then do you care if he's black or not?
Yeah.
You prefer him to be black?
Yes.
That means he's in that top 8% of black men. What state do you live in?
Alabama.
There you go. So there are not even that many there, ma'am. So if you have a man that's 50 in Alabama earning six figures, he has all of Alabama looking for him. The previous caller was 30 with two kids, and you saw her photo. If that was accurate, that was an attractive woman. She's got one less kid than you.
But they're grown. The two are
It
grown.
doesn't frick toast matter. See, you ladies, all that's okay. I told you what men value. And you ladies tend to always say, yeah, but what it shows is you really are not in tune with it. Shows that modern women have have really become detached from what men want and who we are. I don't
Mhm.
care if your kids are grown. When a man who's earning the kind of money you talk about looks at you, looks at a woman, he's looking at a woman's attractiveness first. Other things come into play later on. But what if he wants to have children?
Can't happen. Not with me.
Exactly. Exactly. And 51% of black men have no children. Higher earning men tend to wait to have children. You can't have children. So I get that you may want them, but what does he want? That's what you ladies need to ask yourself. What do the kind of men that you want in a woman? Tell me
Wait,
what do,
what?
tell me before you ask me a question, tell me what they want in a woman.
Um, I'm thinking partnership, uh, a helpmate, um, loyalty, trust, love. Am I wrong?
What I'm saying is at 43 years old, you don't
Okay.
know. You're grasping at straws. You're waiting for me to tell you stop or fill something in. I'm asking you definitively. You're going on the market to try to get to buy one to be bought one by one of these things. What do they want? And you've just shown that you really don't know. That's okay, but that means to the market that you're really not curious about what we want. You're just trying to get us to buy what you have to sell.
No, I really want to know what men
Well,
want.
I said it earlier. Men value a woman's beauty, her fitness, her cooperation, her fertility, and her womb. You've already been married twice
Right.
and you've had three kids.
Yeah.
Ma'am, you've already won. You've had all your tickets. The game is over. You don't get any high value anything. What really would make practical sense is I just want somebody to spend the rest of my life with, an average person. Because, ma'am, your dress size 12, 14, you know how the next questions, where would you rank yourself? And you're in Alabama, you're not moving, you got a 13-year-old. Your standard is far too high for many reasons, including geography. And that's what triggers so many women when I said average at best and die alone. And hold on, because this is coming. Hold on. You haven't had a man in 8 years. It's not because men don't exist.
It's not that I haven't had a man in 8 years. Just
A relationship in 8 years. That's what I mean.
well, I've had a relationship, but I mean, I really want to know. Are you saying like as opposed to me wanting someone like a high dollar, I guess a high value man, I should want like an average what? $50,000, $60,000
That's what you. I
man.
mean, okay, take your money away, and what would you be? Real talk. Take your money away. What would you be?
Um, I would be, I don't know. That's
Right there in the middle. Average, normal.
okay.
Okay.
But how
Well,
can you take,
listen. We attract what we are. And what I'm trying to get you ladies to understand is many of you are basing your dating sexual marketplace value on
yeah.
your education and your income. And that is not what men pick women on. We pick you on what on the things I mentioned. So
um,
it's like we want dollars and you got euros. There's a conversion.
right.
If you
Okay.
let me ask you another question.
Yes.
If you worked at Walmart, would you be wanting the same kind of man you want now?
Mm, I don't know because
Come
I
on,
think I
ma.
would
Come
be
on, ma. Come on, ma.
no, I think I would
See,
be in a different mind frame as opposed to
but
what
see,
I
but
am
no,
now.
but you would still, but see, what you may be in a different mind frame, but you'd still be in the same body, the same sexual market category for men. And that's what so many women seem to have a problem with. It's like, well, damn, I be in a different mind frame. Why? Because I be making different money. I'm different this, man.
Right.
And the thing is, I'm not trying to be rude, man, but so what you make six figures? That's not what men pick women on. How many times do you women have to see a multimillionaire marry a Hooters girl before y'all finally freaking get it through your head?
That's hard. I don't know.
Well, how about this? Then give me okay. Well, how about the other thing? If it's hard to get through your head. Then do this. You're not giving them what they want. They don't want women who weigh more than them. Do you know I'm going there with the fitness, man? But you know you are not as fit as you can get,
True.
and you know that beyond a shadow of a doubt. And you're almost my age, and I know you've heard this, but yet you have not brought that to the marketplace. So I'm sorry if you can't demand the highest price. You ain't even done what you can do to up your rate.
So let me ask you a question. If I
Okay,
were
I got to get on
to
to the next person.
okay,
Go
okay.
ahead, finish it out.
Well, if I were to say I were to like lose this weight, lose, like 20, 30 pounds or
Mm-hmm.
whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and knowing that I am at the status that I am right now with a 13-year-old child,
Mm-hmm.
where would that, what market would that put me in?
Same place you are, because your mentality. Because man, you lose the weight, you still 43 with a 13-year-old.
Yes.
Man,
So should I just be single? Would that be
well,
better?
if you don't mind dying alone, sure. If you
Mm.
if a man's money is this important, then you know what? I got something else. You can always go buy a dog and die alone. Cause and that's sad that you guys have reduced men to money so much to where you'd rather buy a dog and die alone, other than just getting in your lane, your assortative lane, and recognize that you don't want to raise the price on your sexual marketplace value. The market didn't. You've
Right.
gotten to the point to even with this last thing, if I did this, I did that. That means it needed to be done to get a higher price. It's not already done. And if you did do it, you wouldn't be doing it for the right reasons. You'd be doing it to raise your price on the market. And then when you got what you want, chances are very high that you go right back to being what you were to begin with. That's a bad deal for men, and men know this.
Yeah.
That's why
Okay.
men pick women who are already fit and doing these things because they don't want them to just be doing it to get them.
Okay. Got it.
So what are you gonna do?
Um, well, I'm definitely on a lifestyle fitness type journey. And I'm just doing that for myself. But uh I guess I can open up my horizon to
See, one
not
thing.
just
Let me go ahead and do this. See, the thing is that's good, but 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 you got to realize, opening up your horizons, you're not doing men a favor. And this is what tends to happen. The mindset needs to be different. That you would be good to find somebody who's just all right with a twice divorced woman with 3 kids, whether 2 are out of the house or not.
Right.
That's why I said, man, 1 out of 4 black women were married. If you can find one that's walking and has his faculties, I mean, especially in Alabama, man. I'm sorry, but I don't know what y'all are thinking. I mean, I'm trying to not be that way, but it's like, especially with women who are professionals and earn more. I'm like, you have to have some business acumen or sense to understand numbers and facts and data and statistics. Apply that stuff that makes your money in your personal life. But it's too personal. It's too emotional for y'all. But
It
I'm
is.
just not understanding why so many of y'all just prefer to just keep this standard saying I deserve and I deserve and I deserve, and then getting mad when you get in that plot by yourself.
Yeah. I mean, it's a hard, I guess,
Well,
hard to hear
I
and to
get
connect.
well. You know what's harder to imagine? What's harder to hear is imagine that burial plot by yourself.
I know, and I don't want to. I
All right,
don't want to.
all right, all right, Mom. Appreciate it.
Hi.
Hello, hello.
Hi,
How
how
are
are
you?
you? I'm
I'm
so
what?
excited.
Okay. How old are you?
I am 32.
All right. So are you single or are you married? I see you Zoom user. I got you. You're 32. What
Yeah,
do you got?
I'm single.
What do you got? So what do you got for me on the topic?
I'm single and I'm looking for a man.
Okay, but
That's
I
a
got a
I'm
topic
looking.
tonight. Are you calling in on my
Okay.
topic?
No.
Okay, you gotta wait. I gotta be calling in on the topic. I got an entire show that I put together. If you just want to talk about what you want to talk about, if I have time at the end, maybe I'll get to it. Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. How old are you? How old are you?
32. Can you hear me?
Barely. You were cutting in and out. Say again. Okay.
Let me take my.
Are you on a mobile device? Alrighty then. Are
Hey, can
you
you
on
hear
a?
me now?
Oh yeah. How old are you again? Jesus.
All right. 32.
What? Okay. What's going on with your phone?
Sorry, I had my AirPods in, and for some reason it wasn't connecting, so I just took them off.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. Okay. So what do you got for me on the topic?
Well, I feel like, and I can't really speak for everybody because I am a little big myself, but I feel like a lot of the weight issues, I think, comes from like a self-esteem point of view from a lot of women, and it kind of feel like guys are supposed
We
to
don't care.
accept that
We
ill.
don't. We don't care.
Yeah, so for me, like, I actually, like, the reason why I even found you was actually through a male friend of mine, and I've been watching a lot of your videos, so a lot of the points that you're saying, like, it really makes sense. And for me, like, I'm like, okay, you know what, maybe if I start doing this, maybe if I do start working out, guys may look at me in a different light. But sometimes, like, even with your weight, it's more of a self-realization, something
Hold
that
on,
you
hold on,
want
just a
to.
second. Hold on, just a second. And to my critics and detractors, when I say we don't care, we don't. Just like a woman doesn't care why a man is a broke dusty. You don't care. Human beings choose based on outcomes and results, not should be's. So you were saying that even if you start addressing the weight, then what?
Yeah, so, like, for me, I feel like it's like Darwinism. Like, you kind of, it's like survivor of the fittest in the world of dating when it comes to weight, when it comes to a lot of, um, pretty much the mating, or the guys pursuing the ladies. So I think with us looking a certain way is not only to attract or the guy's attention, but I think it's the same way of having that type of self-esteem and confidence, to say, like, I look a certain way. And for me, I kind of think of it like if the world was about to end and it's an apocalypse and we got to run, and the guy is speeding off and I can't catch up because I'm overweight, like it could be a problem. Like we should be able to run as a team.
And you said you're how old again?
32.
32?
Yeah.
Any children?
No.
Okay. How much the most you've ever weighed?
210. Okay. Right now I'm like 180.
How tall are you?
5'5".
So what men don't understand is how you guys
get that up, that weight up.
Yeah, how you guys do this and how you justify it. Because it's not like human beings eat a big meal and then go to bed and then you're just. I know it takes time, but at 32, do you want to have children one day?
I do.
Do you want to be married one day?
I do.
Okay. So when was the last time you were a dress size US 4?
Actually, like high school, like freshman.
Freshman year? Okay.
Yeah.
So when you're a freshman, you're 14 years old, 14 to 15. So by my quick math, that's over half your life ago.
Yeah. I think for me too, like even with me being like at 160 or like 175, I didn't look like it. Like I looked smaller than what my size was. And it's always been like that.
You look smaller to who? The black men?
Well, like
if I put you in a room full of men from China or a room full of white men, would you be making the same statement?
Oh no. Of course not.
Then hold on. Stop. So the context is I look smaller in the black male or black cultural context. But if I put you in a room with just a bunch of different race men, you wouldn't make the same they wouldn't make the same argument. It would be a non-starting argument.
Sure. That's true.
So this is why black as a man, we're just tired of hearing. We're tired of hearing all of that because we feel the internet. People had a belief, but on the internet now we see how differently women act with different men. And gentlemen, this is where we as men got to understand that accepting this stuff, calling it thick, and then that shit won't work. But at 32,
yeah. It's a different perspective as you get older. That's why I said sometimes it's like just self-realizing that, I need to make some.
Did you go to college?
And a lot of weight is gained through bad
relationships. Did you go to college?
Say that again?
Did you go to college?
Yes.
Did you get your degree?
No.
What is it in?
Criminal justice.
Okay, another useless degree.
Yeah.
So if you don't get married, how are you going to provide for yourself between age 65 and 85 with a criminal justice degree?
Well, I'm like a minimalist, so I wouldn't like.
How much are you going to need? Okay, minimalist or not, you're still going to be 65. How much do you think you need to retire on for that 20 years? How much cash?
I would say in the field of criminal justice, maybe 500,000.
Mm-hmm. Are you making more than $75,000 a year?
No.
More than 60?
Like around 60.
What city do you live in?
California.
Northern or southern? Sacramento. So cost of living is higher there, though.
Yeah.
So, ma'am, the number is really about $1.9 million. And the long way around it is without a marriage, as a single person, you won't have enough money to live in your elder years. Bottom line. No matter how we get around to it, the world is not set up for single people aging.
I completely agree. I wish I like knew you back like 10 years ago to give like, some type of advice. Is we get caught up in our own world and we don't,
I get it.
allow time to focus
I
on
get.
it.
I
And
get it.
like
I get it.
now.
I get it. But the problem is you're 32, and if you want to get the outcomes, you got no time.
Yeah. That I do know. That I do
Huh?
know. I said that I do know.
Okay. So how many days a week are you
So
working
that's
out?
why I'm kind of
So
on
how many days a week are you working out?
right now 3.
How many hours?
Yeah, because
How long? How long are your workouts?
an hour and a half.
What kind of workout are you doing?
A lot of deadlifts, weightlifting, some jump rope. That's pretty much it. I just do like home workouts. And then I work a lot. So when I'm at work, I work out on my break. I do care home, so it's easy for
You
me
work
to.
out. You work out for an hour and a half at home.
Mm-hmm.
And how much weight have you lost in the last 90 days?
Um, in the 90 days, because I just started. So last month I lost 15. And then I don't know so far from last month to now because I haven't weighed myself.
Okay.
And that's with me eating right and cutting a lot of like sugars and carbs and stuff. So.
Okay. See, this is what I understand is why women in your position who know that you didn't get the right information for whatever, you're where we are, why y'all aren't really working out with a trainer and doing everything you can to get down to a healthy weight. When I said you don't have any time, that's what I meant, no time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and for me, I don't have any more distractions for me to like. Before it was just I couldn't focus on the simplest things of a healthy diet or something else, which is no excuse, but we get sidetracked with so much stuff that gets us off course and we forget to get back on that on the bandwagon. So.
Well, that doesn't sound good, man, because honestly, it sounds like you can lose weight. And see, men fear situations like this because what men don't hear is she'll lose the weight, and then when she get a man, she'll blow right back up.
Yeah. And see, that's what I don't want. Because if I was to meet somebody,
But
like I
what,
would want.
but what you're not, okay. Knowledge is good, but I'm beyond the point of thinking that the reason so many women today are so out of shape is because they don't like knowledge. I think y'all just lazy. Just lazy, and they think somebody's going to accept it. And now after 30, it's like, okay, well, shit, it's not happening, and y'all aren't moving with any real sense of urgency. You gotta outcompete the 23-year-old version of yourself and all other women out there. So, because if you mess around and get to 40 single, that's a wrap. And like it or not, man, the math is the same. How you gonna pay for life? So, like, man, you scaring women. I hope so. I hope so. I hope I'm scaring the shit out of y'all so you start recognizing that you don't have time to be wasting.
Yeah, it's definitely a wake-up call. I think for me too, coming out of a relationship where the guy really didn't care.
How long were you in a relationship?
That again?
How long you were in the relationship?
2.5 years. We ended last June.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, like I was telling you, women, y'all got to get the bigger parts of your life together. Getting fit, that's just one part of it. Then you got to get competitive. So, I don't know. Sad part is, the truth of the matter is, most of our women just expect men just to accept it. Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
And I don't.
Well, I said most of our women know. They say they don't, but y'all, they really do. What you got?
So I was calling it because I wanted to I was talking to Tiffany in the chat room a little bit, but I didn't get a chance to really ask her a question. But this is just to you because I wanted to know, in my case, I'm a little bit older than her. I'm 39 and no kids.
She thought she was older than
never
me.
been married. I'm sorry?
She thought she was older than me.
Who?
Tiffany. She was shocked when I told her how old I was. You're 39, never been married. Go ahead.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, 39, no kids, never been married. And I was just kind of thinking about your the conversation that you were having with her, and I know she came from a perspective, from a Christian perspective, and I'm a Christian too, but I'm just really starting to get into the Bible and going to church and stuff. So I'm very new at it.
Okay.
But I'm wondering, like, as far as like my chances of becoming married and having children in Washington State.
And you're Black.
Yes.
So some of the wealthiest Black men are in Seattle area. Some of the most successful Black men are in your area. You want to find successful Black men? Seattle's kind of where you go. So let's get into it. Height, weight, dress size.
Oh boy. I think this is what's going to be the big kicker. So I'm 5'2". I'm probably a size 16 dress. And what was the other question you asked? Like weight?
Weight.
Over 200.
And you're 39?
Yes.
Any children?
No children.
Okay. Well, obviously that is going to be a huge consideration, because in a man's mind, first thing he asks is, at five, how tall are you? 5 what?
5'2".
5'2". 5'2", you're 2 inches shorter than normal. A man's mind logically asks the question, why is she this size? That's what a man logically says. And most people assume they see a woman your age, your weight, that you have had multiple children. That's a fair assumption. They'll assume you have multiple children. And then if you find out you don't have children, the next question is going to be, and I mean this in no disrespectful way, how did you allow yourself to get this way? Is there something medically wrong? Guys go through a complex set of stuff, but if it comes out that you're not married, no children, no like hyperthyroidism or hypo, whichever one of it, whichever Graves' disease causes you to put on weight, guys look at women your height and weight and they just assume, she's just not motivated, she's lazy, these kind of things. And the kind of guys who are high earners, they are dealing with women who are going to they get the best of the best.
Right.
So my question is this: what are you doing to actually drop like arguably 80 pounds? Or have you always been a big girl?
I've always been a big girl. The lowest that I've been is probably like 195. And that was about maybe 7 years ago. And I mean, I was okay then. Mind you, I was 32.
No, ma'am, you weren't okay. You weren't okay. You weren't okay at 195 pounds at 5'2". That is almost 40% BMI. That is very dangerous. It's not, see, in the Black community, we've allowed this narrative to get to the point to where it's just out of control. To where, again, no offense, to where you sound like an intelligent woman, to where you could say you were okay at 5'2", 195 pounds. Ma'am, you weigh more than I do. And I'm a foot and 2 inches taller than you. And you can't have always been this size. There was a point to where and I don't know why. Let me back up. Have you ever gone to any kind of counseling or therapy?
Yes, I have actually.
So are you an emotional eater?
I've never.
Were you this size in high school?
Yeah, I was probably like 185, 190 in high school. So I've always been pretty.
So were you raised by mom and dad?
No, just my mom.
Okay. See, a father would not have allowed his daughter to get to that size.
Hmm.
He would have known that he'd have been handicapping her on the open market. So, was your mother a large woman?
Yeah, she was 5'8" and about, I think she was over 300, but she had lost the weight.
Okay.
So
And
she
do you
got
have any
down to
siblings?
probably like, okay, so I do have siblings, but they're half siblings.
I
So
mean,
they
your
live in
mother,
Texas.
any children that live with you and your mother?
No, I was the only child.
Okay. So, and how much older is your mother than you?
My mom passed away, so
Okay. I'm
she
sorry to
was
hear that.
25 when she had me.
Okay.
That's okay.
So a younger mother, and I'm going to assume that she probably didn't have a relationship during your lifetime.
I'm sorry, you
Did she
broke
have a
up.
relationship during your lifetime?
With my mom?
Did she have a man?
Oh no.
Or-
She was only with my father, and then after.
so when you were born, you became a sister to her, and y'all live by. So this. I've seen this in my lifetime. So here's the net of it. Whatever it is, ma'am, you are allowed to be an unhealthy weight for a majority of your life. It stands to reason that without major measures, this is the size you're going to be.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's surgeries, because dieting won't just get it done. You're going to have to make a wholesale life change.
Right.
So at what point are you planning on forget husbands and everything else. At what point do you plan on doing that just so you don't die?
I'm definitely making an effort now. I'm
What does that
definitely
mean?
eating a lot healthier.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I'm
Are
eating
you
smaller
working?
portions.
No? What I mean, are you actually working with a nutritionist and a personal trainer and in the gym 5 days a week?
Well, in Washington State, our gyms haven't opened yet, so
Okay,
I would have to do it on my own.
before COVID, were you in the gym 5 days a week?
No, I was not.
Okay, then you're not seriously doing anything.
Okay.
Seriously, ma'am. At this point, you're almost 40.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to start having joint problems. I mean, you've heard all these statistics.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what your mother passed from, but being at this size and having no siblings, you're out there by yourself. So it's not all these things are make it affect your chances on the dating market. But your priority should be your health.
Right.
And see, if you think your priority your health, it will show in your body, and then anybody who's actually looking for a woman can see that you're in the area. What do you do for a living?
I actually write citations for vehicles, so like a meter maid.
Okay. So you'd be looking, if you were to get married, you'd want a man that was making about how much money a year?
Well, I make just under six figures, so
Okay.
probably about the same, something comparable.
Okay. That's not realistic.
Okay.
I'll tell you why it's not realistic.
Why is that? I'm curious to know.
Men who make that kind of money, why would they date a woman that's 5'2" and almost 200 pounds?
Yeah. I mean, that's my last relationship was like that. And he was from Louisiana, so he moved here for me.
Okay. And how much did he make when he
But
moved
that
there?
didn't work out.
How much did he make when he moved there?
Well, he was a plumber, so his rate of pay drastically changed from $30 an hour in Louisiana up to now he's making like $60 an hour.
How
here.
much did he make when he was moving there?
Well, he had to get his license, so he wasn't making anything for like the first couple months because he had to get his license. But then once he gets his license,
just give me the number, ma'am. Just how much was he making a year, ma'am?
A year. So I mean, I think probably 105,000 a year or so. I want to say. at
Okay.
least.
Okay. So he was making $30 an hour in Louisiana, and then he could moved up there. And then who broke off the relationship?
I did. I broke off the relationship.
Why?
He's very controlling and abusive.
Okay. Let me back up. Men
Okay.
with options
Mhm.
don't move for women. Men with options don't move for women. Women move for men with options. So, however you slice it, he moved for you. So, obviously, he was under you. I don't really need to know what's going on in there, but the net of it is at your age, you got to get you need to drop 80, 90 pounds.
Okay.
And you're not going to do that with diet alone on your own.
Right.
If you have the means, when are you going to actually get in with a personal trainer, a nutritionist, or maybe even have surgery if that's what's required? That's really where it is. I mean,
Right.
Your weight is a major issue, and
Right. And that's why I appreciate, I appreciate your honesty, more than anything. I know that it may come off harsh for some people, but for me, I need that reality check so I know
well, I just
what I
don't
have
want
to
you.
do.
I don't
And I
want you
think,
to die of a heart attack or diabetes or something like that. And that's what happened. I mean, you're not 22 anymore. Your body cannot
right,
handle this amount of weight and stress. And you're a city employee or a state employee or something like that.
I'm a city employee.
Okay, ma'am. I don't wish this on you, but you got to look at what's going on in the world right now. COVID, all this other kind of stuff. When budget starts happening, they can automate you like that.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens when you're writing citations? What happens if you lose that job
I
and those
lose my house.
benefits? And you lose those benefits because you have benefits, right?
Right.
Then I
Right.
suggest you use them while you have them.
Mm-hmm. And that's the other thing, Kevin, I wanted to say, or Mr. Samuels, is that, my job has, Weight Watchers as an option. I mean, I know it's something, right? If I'm not able to go in to see a nutritionist,
No,
then
no,
I mean,
no,
I
no,
do
no,
have
no,
options.
no, 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 no. We don't take halves. You go all the way plus some. You are 40 years old and
Okay.
almost 200 pounds. I don't want to hear any halfway measures. You need to go
Right.
as hard and as far as you possibly can go to save your life.
Okay.
Don't give me this halfway. I can go eat Weight Watchers and eat smaller portions. You've been this way since high school.
Yep.
See, this is psychological. It's more than anything else. And some of this stuff I'm outside of my depth. That's why I suggest therapy, because there's nothing logical or rational in what you just said to me.
Right. Right.
Danny, what's going on?
Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you. What do I get for being all this? Oh, you just get basic stuff. Let's do this. Mel, unmute yourself. Unmute you. Hello. Hi, how are you? Good. How old are you? Hold on just a second. Yes, I can. Hold on. So, modern women. What's good enough? What do you have for me on the topic? How about that?
Or I feel like I can fully comment.
Well, we're talking about, high value is just something in there. Who is good enough for modern women? So, who is good enough for you? You muted yourself.
There we go. Can you hear me?
Who's good enough for you?
As long as the individual.
Okay, you keep muting yourself. Keep your hands off the screen. All righty then.
Okay.
Keep your hands off the screen. All right.
Okay, got it. As long as he can provide at least 70% of the income for the family that we decide to have, which I would like to have at least 2 children.
How many do you have now?
I have 0 children currently.
Okay.
And mentally as well. I do not, I mean, in an ideal world, I would not like to have to work to, help provide.
What state do you live in?
Oregon.
Oregon. How much would it take for a family of 4 to live a middle-class lifestyle in Oregon?
With the numbers that you talk about, I'm actually not positive because
give me a number.
I think that a combined income of middle class here would do that.
Give me a number.
Give
me a number.
Maybe a combined of like 150K, I think would probably suffice.
$150,000 in Oregon. 150. Okay. And of the 150, you'd want him to be making 105. You'd still want a man in the top 10% of earners because you'd ideally not like to have to work. Okay.
Well, I mean,
no,
honestly,
no.
You have a high value.
No. I'm talking. I'm listening, and I'm doing my part. I'm listening to what you said. You want your kids to be able to go to a private school, magnet school, this, that. You want them to have a middle-class lifestyle. All right. 150. But you said you want a man to be able to provide 70%, ideally 100. But you'll take 70. 70.7 times 150 is $105,000. That's still men in the top 10% of earners. Okay, at 29 years old with no kids. Did you go to school? College?
Yes.
Okay.
I am in the dental field.
What?
I'm in the dental field.
All right. How long have you been watching my program?
On and off for a few months.
All right. So men who are in the top 10% of earners, you know the questions I ask. How tall are you?
I am 5'4". I am about 160.
Dress size?
I know my pant size. I don't think I know my true dress size. My pant size is 6.
Dress size? You're 5'4", 160. You're probably about a 12.
Yes, 5'4", 160.
You're about a 12. 10, 12.
Okay.
10, 12. And the thing is, see, that's still wanting a man who's a much higher earner. And this is where it gets to be an uncomfortable conversation because all you ladies seem to want these men, but these men who made themselves the best version of themselves, who have to be in the top 10, they want women that look good, pretty, beautiful and gorgeous is what they really want. Fit, feminine, cooperative, submissive. So would he be getting a fair deal?
Excuse me?
Would he be getting a fair deal based upon the things that most men want? I mean, from the fitness standpoint, you're born with what you're born with as far as physicality, your face and everything, right?
Yes.
But the fitness thing is something that everybody can do something about.
Yes. I stay active and I do work out. Am I working on being more fit? Yeah,
ma'am. This is where it becomes uncomfortable because at 5'4", 160 pounds, you weigh about what the average American man weighs. He's 5'10" and 168 pounds. You're 8 pounds less than the average American man.
Okay.
And see, this is why people start getting saying you're being rude and this and that. But who's going to have these conversations? Because you got women up in Boston and Oregon still wanting men who are these high earners to be able to facilitate two children, and women not having to work. One wants 70%, the other one, or you want the same guy pretty much in Boston or Oregon. And I'm like, well, what is he going to get from you? What does he get for being a top 10% earner and all the other stuff? What does he get?
You know, if it comes down to what I guess you're saying a 21-year-old can provide versus what I can provide.
21-year-old? What is that 21-year-old? I said 21-year-old. I said, what does he get?
The same thing that he would get, like I said, from a 21-year-old. I can't say that I could give better than that, other than things.
No, you're not getting the same thing as a 21-year-old, because at 21, arguably you were 21. You were 8 years younger. You had 8 years less miles on you, and presumably you were in 8 years better shape. See, this is one thing that you ladies don't seem to take into consideration. Men are visual. And many women today just say, F it. I'm just going to be me. I mean, the nose ring thing, that's not helping you. Being 5'4", 160 pounds, come on. You need to lose some weight and get in shape. I mean, I can't be the first. I mean, but it's like, what I've noticed is many times on my platform is many women have been basically like, well, he's gonna pick me or nothing else. Guys are choosing nothing else because women tell men what they think they deserve by their attitude and their appearance, and simply by most women's appearance. Now, I'm not going to make this about you, but by most women's appearance, by just simply choosing not to be in shape, you're telling men that they don't deserve much. Because let's say you met the guy of your dreams and you guys got married and you were 160 pounds. You got pregnant. You're going to put on 30 to 50 pounds. That means you're going to go from 190 and have another kid. You're not going to drop all that weight like you would have dropped in your early years. Likely he's going to have a wife after 2 kids that's going to be tipping the scales around 200 pounds. At 5'4", 190, 200. And men who have to earn 70% of the family income, preferably 100%, either way, it's over 6 figures. They're saying no. Would you agree or disagree?
Sure, we can say I agree. That's
well, how about
fine.
this? Have you ever dated a man seriously who earned over $100,000 a year?
Over 100,000? No.
Okay. Then why would he have to be that to marry you?
I mean, when I think of my husband, I don't primarily think of his income, honestly.
Well, yeah, you do, because you want him to be able to pay 70 to 100% of all the family income. You better think of his income. That's what you said.
Yeah, I guess practically I should be thinking about his income, but when in my brain, when I'm thinking about who I would like to marry, his income is not the first thing that comes to my brain.
Okay, well, most men don't earn that. This is where the conversation also gets uncomfortable. Average people get average people. What's average income?
I would say probably around 70K.
Shit. You're black?
Yes.
Yeah, the average black man makes $41,000 a year. That's average. 41,000. The median family income in this country for 4 people is $61,000. I ran these numbers down last week. And again, guys, remember, this sister's out in Oregon and she thinks the average black man makes $70,000. This is what I mean to my critics. Don't like me, get upset. But day in, day out, women are just don't know who men are. So you got a sister here sitting back thinking that a man should make $70,000. And that's damn near twice as much as the average black man at almost 30 years old. Could you date a man who's making $42,000 a year?
Yeah.
Could you marry him?
Yes.
Could you have babies
I
with
just
him?
have to work.
But why shouldn't you have to work when 72% of all mothers in this country work full or part-time? Why should you not have to work when 7 out of 10 mothers in this country work? Seriously, what's so
Because
special about you to where you shouldn't have to work when you're already working right now?
would I prefer to stay home with my children to be
Okay.
more involved in raising them
Right.
over working 40 hours a week? Yes.
Well, okay, but let me ask you the hard question, ma'am. Were your mother and father married?
Yes.
Okay. Are they still married?
Very recently divorced, actually.
Okay. Were you raised and trained to be a housewife?
Uh, I'd probably say no, but am I learning?
That's why you can't stay at home, because you were not raised and trained to be a housewife. You were raised and trained to go to work. And I got news for women who think that being a housewife is a life of luxury. It's the hardest job you'll ever have.
I completely agree.
But the men who can provide that kind of income want something for their money.
What is it that they want?
Fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, and submissive.
To care for their family and support them.
Fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive. Right off the rip, the fitness isn't there. Fit.
Okay.
It's something that every woman can do with something about.
And other than being fit, what else are they looking for?
I just said 5 things.
Okay, other than being fit, the F's, what else? Is that
Fit,
it?
Fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive.
That's it?
That's
so if you don't.
That's it implies you can do that in your sleep and you ain't done it yet.
So if you don't fit all 5 of those, then what?
Well, men are the men that you want. Just like that woman said, a man wasn't good enough for her. Men could say women aren't good enough for them. The kind of men to make the kind of money you want, they can have standards too, can't they?
Yeah.
They can say what they do and don't want, can't they?
Yes.
And if they say they want fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive, childless, attractive women, whatever, are there women out there that fit that?
By the time they're 29, it's far and few in between, but yeah, sure.
By the time who's 29?
A woman who is those things, or at least half of those things, at least have kids by now.
Wrong.
Okay.
Wrong. See, no disrespect, man.
Hey everyone, subscribe to my YouTube channel and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Before we proceed, let me say, how are you everyone? Is God keeping you safe? And let's first pray for those who are in the hospital very sick and they need God's guidance. May the healing power of God bless you and let God heal you. And those who are going through special problems, may the healing power of God bless you and come over all what you're going through. And those who are going to do weddings, introductions, divorces, whatsoever you're going to do, may God put his hand in it and may you come out fully and lively. And yeah, so before we proceed, let's give respect to the fallen legend Papa Kevin Samuels for his good work he has done to the community and for bringing out the and black society for women and men, because I think he had more amazing videos. He has more educative work. Yeah, may his soul rest in peace and may his legacy stay forever. Let's keep his work going because I think he has more amazing work, more amazing video. videos. In these videos, we talk about marriage, feminism, we talk about divorce, we talk about friendship, we talk about courtship, we talk about how you can handle yourself in public or in a daily situation, or daily incomes of life. So, uh, this video we are going to look at the ladies trying to suffer overweight. I know weight is something over in ladies, because for us we have a lot of hormones that balance our bodies and hormones that disturb our bodies at the same time. Most especially, it's very difficult to see a lady giving birth and the weight doesn't increase. It's naturally like that, but how do you really fight with the weight? Though this lady said that she works out, but I think she's lying. There is something she's missing. First of all, let me just give you a tip of weight. There is gym. You can try out gym. Though one thing I've made research about gym. It's very difficult to maintain the gym every day. It's very difficult to maintain, but especially if you go to work or you have a lot of things you. It's very difficult to do it every day. But if you can at least try at least 4 days in a week, then you try out the gym. It's still okay. But if you can't do the gym, there is what they call intermediate fasting. Most of you have been asking me how to do with intermediate fasting. This is when you can decide on what to eat and when to leave. First of all, before you start intermediate fasting, you have to make sure that the fasting you're going into, you know what are the things you're supposed to eat and what you're not supposed to eat. You have to know the do's and don'ts of the diet you're going to take. Junk foods are not allowed. But for some days or some reasons, for parties, you can try them out, but they are not allowed. Juice is a must. Dairy products, no, don't try dairy products. But how does intermittent fasting works? Intermittent fasting, it doesn't require to fast for the whole day. Or what, you can decide to skip breakfast, eat lunch, and skip supper. Or you can decide to take a small portion of fruits in the morning and you skip lunch and eat supper and something small. And you have to develop the habit of partitioning your food. Actually, I know there are places there where partitions. You have to get that habit of eating food, but in a smaller partition. It will help you out to cut all that weight. And hot water, you can start hot water with lemon and ginger. But if you have ulcers, you can do hot water alone. You can do hot water alone. Move so that you can be flexible. Yeah, it can help you overcome the weight. I know the weight journey is not something easy. It's not something good, because if you, let me say you're 20 and you gain like kilos, like 8 kilos, you gain kilos on 20 years, you will look like someone of 35 years or 40, however you're young, and people won't believe it. The gender stuff is the weight stuff is the most hardest journey to take or to choose. But if you admit yourself and you work on that, you be like, I want to be like this. Everything can be normal. Everything can turn normal in just a seconds. And exercise also, you can skip the rope at home if you can go to the gym, so that you can be flexible in one way or the other. But if not that, my dear mothers, friends, and others, weight journey is the most probably a bad thing. That's why you see a lot of videos for weight. Mr. Kevin was discouraging ladies, but it wasn't discouraging. It was giving them confidence to go and stand again and watch what they do and how can live with their weight in a normal way. So I think how they to deal with their weight so that they can cut their weight to their normal dress size. That's why most of ladies were just coming in to lie about their weight, because they were fearing to being told about their weight, and at the same time they were fearing to being judged. Yet it wasn't judging, they were telling them the truth. I think that is it today. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And let's keep on watching. Thank you so much. May God bless you.